Hi, I'm Shane from Astral Dragon Gaming, and how's everyone doing today? Today we're doing a review, and I'd like to talk a little bit before we start the whole review. Now, the game is called Dollhouse, and I am honestly beguiled many times in a row why, for some unknown reason, a large proportion of people are fascinated about trying to scare the living crap out of themselves. Like, literally finding something that will literally make them jump out of their skin. It's an adrenaline rush. It's a mental precept. Like, we love horror, and still horror in games is a very niche market. It's still not the big sort of Hollywood blockbuster that a lot of people want. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. Dollhouse is kind of like, imagine the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who were real, and they were mannequins, and the minute you turned your back, they sliced the crap out of your backside. That's what the majority of this game is about. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so we'll go and scoot it back. And just as a proviso, I did get this in code as promotional code, and I have not been paid for, but I got a free copy of the game, and I enjoyed the game immensely. That's all I'm going to say from this point in time. So, let's get on to the graphics first off the bat. Now, graphically, this is not the big game. It's good, it's not bad, the texture work's good, the design's good, the amount of clipping is very minimal, and the overall sort of movement of the mannequins and other figures in the thing, it's really good, and it's creepy as hell, because I think I literally jumped out of my skin the first time that I looked, and all of a sudden, as I turned, one of the mannequins moved their head and their arm at the same time, and I was like, drop the controls, and just like, okay, that was creepy, I don't want to do that again. And some of the death sequences where you just plain out get up and butchered straight off the bat. It's some really scary stuff, and it's good sort of visual thing. The game is all pretty much in black and white. The only real colours are prominent points or prominent objects that you need to deal with at points. The majority of the time it's all monochrome sort of colour and palette. And sometimes different levels will have red accents, other levels will have yellow accents and whatnot. You usually start off in the garden section as all the levels, and it's good. The tech work is good, the animation is good, and it's creepy, and it's kind of very scary, but it's nothing to really write home about. But at the end of the day, it does what it needs to do. It's a nice visual sort of thing that's designed to give you that kind of feeling and understanding that this is a creepy dream. And that's the one thing that hits home with this game, is this creepy dream effect where everything is very surreal. The mannequins are surreal, the threat is very surreal, and yeah, and at one point you get to inhabit the host of you get to see through the eyes of the main sort of protagonist for that particular level that you're on in order to track down things. It's very hoopy stuff, and it's very good. The use of light here is very extreme at times. I found myself immersed in darkness at points, and I was literally stuck there and waiting for my flashlight to recharge and everything, and it was scary. It's really got that nice sort of, you're stuck in a place and it's just you against everything, and it's horrible. So we'll have a little listen to the music and sound and voice and everything, and we'll get onto that in a minute.
You are now seeing through the eyes of your pursuer. While focused, you can track memories. Be careful though, tracking draws attention.
We built this world together. The people, the architecture, the rules. Everything was created from our imagination. Then this nurse came and ruined it all.
It's blocking my signal. I can no longer mark for you, but I think we should still continue our sessions.
Okay, so this is a horror game, and for those that are faint of heart, I would very much recommend don't even play it. It is a game that's designed to scare the living daylights out of you. It's a game that's designed to make you look over your shoulder, which you can do, by and everything. And the music really hits home about this. It is absent, and then it is very present, and then it's very just a background noise on many levels in this game. And it's not bad, and it's nice sort of creepy off-synth kind of stuff, or jazz sounds, or all sorts of different things. And it's not a bad soundtrack overall. I've enjoyed it, and it creeps me out at times listening to it while I'm sitting there sometimes, but overall it's a really good thing. Now, the next thing is the sound work. All the sounds, the effects, the incidentals, the effect of your own footsteps, the creepy sound of you getting slashed by the mannequins and whatnot, it is all there. It is unbelievably scary. This kind of game that if you're enjoying horror and you're enjoying being scared of, I suggest highly to put the headphones on and just be really in the moment, because it will really hit into you some of the horrible things that you can hear. You can hear like babies crying, you can hear other sort of incidental noises, and occasionally you'll get the mannequins actually saying something, and you'll look around and you go, what the hell, man? And so many things that just creep the hell out of your mind as you're playing through the game. Because each level you're going through these labyrinth kind of places, and you're trying to find these memories, and it's this hearing of all these things and whatnot. It's really creepy, and it's done well, and it's given a real vibe for it. Voice work is pretty good. I liked a lot of the characters. I liked a lot of the motivation behind some of the characters and whatnot. And there's a real vibe. The girl that plays Emily is really sincere, and there is a definite sort of emptiness in her portrayal of the child that's kind of getting left in the wayside as the mother becomes, or parents become, much more famous and much more rich and everything. And it's really heartbreaking to listen to at points, and at the same time it really hammers home the voice work that's been done here, and it's good, solid voice work that I enjoyed immensely. Now, this is a game about you playing as Marie, a detective who has amnesia, and you're trying to find your memories. You're trying to figure out what went wrong, what has happened, and you know nothing. The basic idea is that you go through each and every level finding memories, decode those memories, unlock different things, allowing you to gain access to further parts of the story by running through a script, run all the way back away from the boss of the level and try not to get captured or killed in the process along the whole of this, and then piece together a movie that sort of portrays what transpired in that level as the story-wise, and then get points and experience points to move on to further parts of the case. It's a nice loop. It's not a quick loop at times. Like, you'll be sitting there for half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, if you're choosing not to use the ability to focus through the eyes of one of the mannequins or one of the bosses, and to find the different memories. You'll be hunting around. At the very beginning, there is nothing that's going to attack you, and then very quickly and very fast, it slowly escalates to a much more tense and dangerous feeling that every time you turn around a corner, you'll see a mannequin and you go, oh god, it's seen me. And then you're going to die, sort of thing. Because the minute your back is turned and the mannequin is locked onto you, they will come at you very fast. You don't hear them, you don't see them. All you feel is the next instant of red blood on the screen, and you know you've been attacked, and you turn around. You basically get, at the beginning, 3 hearts, and when those 3 hearts are sort of diminished, that's your entire lens broken on your camera and you're dead. Your only defense against these people is, one, looking at them and trying to avoid them, or using the flash on the camera and the limited supply of flashes in each level to destroy these mannequins in order to progress. At other times you'll use the flash to disable traps and also remove illusionary walls as well. This mechanic I kind of like for a lot of reasons, because it gives you a weapon that you can constantly use, but it has a limited cooldown and a limited supply of ammo. If you run out of ammo, then you're stuck with the cooldown, and if you have something coming towards you, you can stand there and look at it and go, okay, I'm alive, alright, flash is charged, bang, dead, and move on. Of course, if the boss finds you, then they're charging down a hallway at you, and unless you're charged up or you have flashes ready to go, that's it, you're cactus. It's a very tense game at times, and it's very intense sort of feeling and whatnot. And I enjoyed it a lot. Don't get me wrong. It's really a great game. But at the same time, I'm not a horror person per se, but it's just feeling that creepiness and whatnot. And I really enjoyed the whole design, the whole concept, and trying to find out what happened to this lady. The game is broken up into various difficulty levels, all the way from easy right up to a very hard level. So the different abilities of what you can do is dependent on those difficulty levels. The enemies will get easier or harder, and also there is the opportunity to use a voyeur mode, which is basically no death, just the creepiness of the entire game, and you can just play through the game, which I kind of like, but I kind of find it defeated the importance of the monsters. You have to call them monsters, you can't call them anything else. And it kind of defeats the purpose of how the game is designed. But that's purely their design point, and I understand why they put it in. It'll allow people to play through the story, but still get creeped out, which you will quite easily at times. The other thing that's included in the game is a beta version of their multiplayer, where you can choose from, I believe, 14 characters, and you can play against other players in different formats, such as a hunt around for a person, the finding a mystery, and all sorts of things. It's a very good design for it, and I think multiplayer, this game will excel quite well. As a single player game, it's kind of a bang done and you've finished it. It is procedurally generated, so that means every time you play the game from whatever time you've started your seed of whatever the game is, it will be generated from that particular point in time. So every time you go into any of the levels, they will be different. They will have different enemies lined out in different positions. They'll have different corridors moving in different directions. One thing I would recommend for a lot of people is make sure you've got a piece of paper and some drawing instruments so you can actually map out where you're going, because you will get lost very quickly. Even though there is an opportunity to put markers down using chalk, you can get lost so quickly. Lastly, on top of that, is there is a kind of leveling system to allow you to unlock different skills, such as better running, better quick time for your different abilities, allowing you to recharge your flash faster, to get more experience for one thing or another. These things are all sort of built in, and they're a good addition, but I think in some respects they're kind of lost because the game doesn't develop enough to give that sort of big oomph to it. I like that it's in there, I just don't think it's been made as good as it could have been. And also the tutorial about how a lot of it works, you can forget very quickly in those split moments where you're scared out of your wits trying to run away from one thing or another. So anyway, I've enjoyed this game. I like Dollhouse a lot. It has a lot of good aspects. I'm not a great fan of the leveling system. I'm not a great fan of the different skills and whatnot. But they're there and they allow you to do certain things, and as the levels progress, because I think there's 7 or 8 levels in total in the single player campaign, they're really good how it sort of intrigues you in, pulls you in, and gives you a really good thing. The price is, I believe, $40 Australian, so it's not a bad price for a game, and there's many hours of good gameplay in this, and I can highly recommend it. Once again, thank you very much to the developers for the key and the ability to review this game without any rush of development of money. But at the same time, I did pay money for the game to make sure I got a copy. I sent it off to a friend of mine so that they can have a shot with the multiplayer with me, and I might stream that at some point. Other than that, I've been Shane from Astral Dragon Gaming. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the review, and I hope you buy the game, because it's really it's a good horror game, and it's unique in the fact that it's built in that noir kind of design, but at the same time, it's unique where the enemies are very visible, but at the same time, you're not sure if they've seen you or not, and I really do think that's been a good job done there. The creepiness factor is so high in this game, it's just really nerve spine sort of going, oh god, no, please stop. But anyway, if you like what you watched, please hit that subscribe button so you can come back and see some more. Make sure you hit the bell icon so you can stay up to date with everything that I have produced, and also hit the like button because then I know whether it was good or bad. Other than that, have yourself a fabulous day, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye for now.